Quote of the week: stop living as if you've got 1,000 years to live. Marcus Aurelius. Hi, welcome everybody. It's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here today as your coach and your therapist to help you transform any stress, tension, and pain into health, happiness, and vitality instead. I remember several years ago, somebody sharing with me a great term. Actually, let me start with this one. Several years ago, a patient of mine shared with me, a friend or two friends, I guess, husband and wife, mid-40s, no children. They won the lottery. They won enough money, indeed, that they never had to work another day in their life unless they chose to. And so they took it upon themselves to indulge in the nice vehicles and travel, and basically had a good time for probably a year or two. And it's not one of those stories where they burnt all their money. They certainly had lots of money, but they paid down the debt, bought another house, bought some nice vehicles, did the travel and so forth. But a few years went by and still they had lots of money, but they were lacking two things, which led them to then go back and find some work, create some work or find some other work. But obviously a different attitude now. And the two things, they were lacking purpose and fulfillment. So my question to you today is, stop living as if you've got 1,000 years to live. And with the question in mind then, what is it that you're putting off? What is it that you want out of life that you don't feel that you're getting, or that you've been talking about wanting or getting, but you've still not got? You've been talking about it for years. You're living your life as if you've got 1,000 years to live. Now, in Buddhism, they say there is no certainty of our time of death, but death is certain. Now, another patient of mine just recently, in the last few months, kind of used this term, Johnny McBring-me-down. Now, I'm not trying to be Johnny McBring-me-down. I'm trying to be Johnny McBring-me-up, in the sense of, if we really sink this into our heart of hearts, really understand, we will have a very different attitude, a very different approach to tackling the day as it approaches us. It's not to say we won't have goals, we won't set ourselves some accolades to achieve and work towards. But what it means is we just have a different approach. We just have a different attitude towards how we take on that difficult person if we don't get what we want that day. There's a lot of great rewards that can come from adopting this attitude that we're not going to live 1,000 years, not in this body, certainly. One of the Buddhist philosophies or tenets is understanding that there's past and future lives. Now, whether you believe that or not, that's each to their own. I believe it. So yes, we have more lives to come, but there is no way we can directly control what they'll look like unless we understand truthfully about the aspects of karma, and we really start to plant the virtuous seeds, those in our mind, that are actually going to give rise to more happiness, fulfillment, and so forth in our future lives. But right now, in this body, we have no 1,000 years to live. So my question to you this week is, what is it that you've been putting off? What is it that you're wanting out of life? And what is it that you can do right now by way of taking action immediately? Not just think about this podcast, listening to what Jason said, oh, that's great, yeah, that makes sense, and intellectually going, yeah, that makes sense, but then, physically and mentally doing nothing about it. I'm asking you to take a step, whatever that is for you. So quote of the week is, stop living as if you've got 1,000 years to live, by Marcus Aurelius. Thank you for joining me this week. Hope you found that of benefit. Join me again tomorrow. I'll be sharing with you my exercise of the week, and we'll be exploring a little bit more from what we talked about last week, the pigeon stretch, and how that helps with anything related to your hip, low back, sciatica, and so forth. Remember, you can always still get my free book. That's going to be changing here pretty soon, but go to my website, jasonbarlowrmt.com. From there, you just leave me your email, and I will share with you my free digital edition. If you want to get a physical copy, just go to Amazon in your respective country and put in the 15-step playbook for pain relief. I bid you good night, farewell, and enjoy the rest of your evening.